Hi, sorry, I goofed up. 1 second. Okay, here we go. Hi. Hopefully no one saw that. Yeah. So, hi everyone. Oh my gosh, Seabreeze, Selgi, thank you for the host. I want to show y'all something. I want to show you something very good. We have a new power now. Hi. I'm doing well. I'm just, why is it lagging so much? Sorry, having some, I think that fixed it, okay. I want to show y'all something. Actually, let me also check. How possible is it that that is open? Oh, okay, Sea Breeze then. Sorry, I'm just making sure there's something that might be open that might be causing problems. Oh boy. Oh no, yeah, it's just disco. Okay. That's regular. Oh no, here we go. That's the thing I was looking for. Get out of here. That should do it. All right. So the thing that I wanted to show people, I want to show y'all. I have a new alert. It's very good. Yeah. Having trouble booting it up. Oh boy. What is happening? Hang on, what else do I have open? Okay, I think Streamlabs is just bad. It's very possible. Alright, so I just need to go to donations, variations. Here we go. Okay. I'm gonna play a new alert. Hang on. I should probably get out of the way because I think it's actually I can just put my alert box over me. That would work. Here we go. Wonder how possible it is that like other stuff is open. What about browser sources? Are there any browser sources open here? I guess not. Sorry, there's like a lot of stuff that I just have to double check because I don't know. I'll close the gears for now. That might help. Okay. So here's the new alert. You ready?
You just rolled a spare. Spare me an inch of that fat fucking cup.
Excellent. You earned a platinum medal.
This is a test donation for $69. Oh.
Isn't it beautiful? So yeah, that's the new alert. Let's get to the game. Let me never talk to me or my daughter ever again. Let me there we go. Okay. And then disco should be ready. Yeah. Oh, why do I have this set up for Sea of Thieves? Oh, I guess because that... Okay, I see what happened. Yeah, there we go. Okay. I actually need to set up the audio again, because I lowered it so that I could play other music, because the current music is not that. Okay. Alright, we're good to go. Last time, we kicked Measurehead, so he's down. And we slammed the button, and now we're gonna go over to this box. If it'll let us. There we go. Got plastic tear. Got money. I'm guessing that he was just blocking the... I'm guessing the button opens the door, or does it open the entire thing? Like, does it open this door? No. Also, Discord is not on streamer mode. Actually, yeah, it does open the store. Okay. Let me get Discord into streamer mode. That seems important. Ah. I'm having computer problems right now. Streamer mode on. I might just want to close Discord right now, honestly. Okay. Alright, we're good. So now we're in here. This is a Dewey Top typewriter. The model name's on the back. Every worker equals member of the board is written at the top of the flyers. And at the bottom, the union logo and demand democracy. Standard office file cabinet. The drawers seem to be locked. Someone left the coffee machine on. Dark liquid in the pot looks almost sentient.
On second glance, someone has forgotten to properly close one of the drawers.
It's unfortunate for the union to just leave their paperwork lying around like this.
Let's see what's inside, he thinks.
Open the drawer.
The drawer opens smoothly. Inside is a well-organized selection of brown folders.
Browse through the folders.
Hundreds of documents containing logistical data. Two kinds of transactions stand out. Materials coming into Revachol from the outside world, from Muindi, Grad, and even Ilmara. And the same materials being handed over to companies inside Revachol. Kuron, Coal City, La Delta, and Jamrock are listed among the many districts where the imports are being sold.
Anything interesting?
It's hard to make sense of this thicket of company names, dates, quantities, and percentages. You try to focus, but the lines are getting blurry.
My volition's pretty high. I do wonder if I can boost it. Yeah, I guess not. Not right now. Give it a shot.
The file cabinet stands steady as ever. Whatever's hidden here is hidden well. Concentration isn't enough. Only a trained accountant with a background in logistics would be able to really make sense of it. However, there is a little handwritten note stuck on the side of the drawer.
Look at the note.
It appears to be a to-do list written in large, uneven capital letters. Remember, Leo, Everart's shoes, special whirling borscht, water Everart's plants, sweep office floor, more banners. All items on the list have been crossed out and the note itself is crumpled.
Look, Kim, a to-do list with a list of errands for Everart.
Everard Clare, probably. The head of the Debarders Union. One of his aides must have left it. Nothing incriminating here.
The special borscht seems a bit odd in the list.
Take another look at the note.
Remember, Leo, Everart's shoe.
Okay,
All items on the list have been crossed out and the note itself is crumpled.
Huh.
The drawer slides shut smoothly.
Didn't really get much use there, but that was interesting. Oh. Book La Fumée, Volume 1, Number 4. This looks like a communist book. At least I think it is, because there's like the red and the white, and there's a white star on the back at least. The leading intellectual organ of Martinet's communism offers a radical Mazovian perspective on a range of contemporary issues. The cover features a stylized portrait of the late King of Versailles with a pair of white antlers growing out of his head. Interact.
The front of this quarterly journal features a large satirical portrait of the late King Friesel. From the sides of his head, a pair of white antlers spread to the corners of the cover.
Why Friesel?
Because Friesel was incompetent, foolish, and cruel. In short, the embodiment of everything the communards wished to overthrow. It's satire, you see.
Flip through the pages, see what catches
To
your
your
eye.
disappointment, there aren't any full-color pictures to direct your attention. Just column after column of closely set text, interrupted occasionally by little doodles in black and white.
Sorry, I'm just checking my email. I got something. Okay, cool. Just making sure that I wasn't shirking a duty that I had. Everything's good though.
After rifling the pages with your thumb several times, you return to the table of contents. The magazine is divided into several sections. International developments, Kunst und Kultur, and local concerns. Just inside the cover, there's also an editor's note.
Read the editor's note.
Comrade, as you know, this journal takes its name from Mazov's immortal expression, Du cristal à la fumée. This was his way of describing the way the rigid, crystalline structures of capitalist ideology turn to smoke under communism. But, like the structures of capitalist ideology, we too are at risk of going à la fumée, unlike many publications which are content to spoon-feed their readers reassuring drivel. La Fumée is committed to telling the radical truth, even when that truth may drive away potential subscribers.
It's taking a bit to load here. Only 4 issues in, it sounds like they've already alienated their readership.
So please, if you value our radical Mazovian perspective on contemporary politics, culture, and international affairs, please consider subscribing today. Yours in struggle, the editors.
Play it cool. Pretend everything's in order.
You flip back to the front of the magazine. The table of contents unfolds before you.
I want to catch up on the international developments.
This section includes a long, tedious critique of the latest round of free trade negotiations between the EPIS nations and the Free State of Semenine. You also skip over an article about heavy fuel oil smuggling along the Messina border, something about bear wrestling in Samara, book riots in Yugograd. Face it, you really aren't interested in foreign affairs. You're not even sure where most of these countries are. You flip back to the front of the magazine. The table of contents unfolds before you.
What is Kunst and Kultur?
It takes a moment, but gradually it dawns on you that Kunst und Kultur must mean arts and culture.
Why they decided it's logic has decided not to work today. Why they decided to title this one section "In Walder is Beyond You." Let me see. I'm gonna try something. No, this might just be, these lines might just be missing. Huh. Anyways.
It evokes a sense of recognition and fellowship among those privileged enough to understand.
Yeah, it makes sense.
As you leaf through this section, you come across several reviews of recent radio plays, as well as a brief artist spotlight featuring a local artist identified only as CS.
Yes.
The main feature, though, is a long essay titled Tip Top Tournée, a critical Mazovian perspective.
Read the profile of CS.
This so-called artist spotlight is really just a brief Q&A, made all the briefer by the subject's evident hostility to her interviewer.
Oh boy. Just a moment, what is this tip-top tournée?
The actual article is surprisingly light on details, but after skimming a page or two, you gather that it has something to do with motor carriage racing. If you don't follow it, you only ever hear about the ludicrous sponsorships and obscene death toll.
Alright, let's see what these communists have to say about Tip Top.
You think you're settling in for a relaxing recap of the most recent season, maybe sprinkled with some nice anecdotes about a few of the more colourful drivers. Instead, you find yourself skimming a 10,000-word feature about all the politically problematic aspects of Tip Top Tournée.
Wait, what's wrong with Tip Top?
Where to even start? For one, there's the crass commercialism of its sponsorships, And then there's the practically criminal emphasis on deadly motor crashes.
Hang on, who wrote this stuff?
Oddly enough, this article has 2 bylines. Nasteb Encolada Bernal and Exilus Buka. There's no way those are real names.
Wait, why aren't they real names?
Have you ever met anyone named Exilus? Come on, they're plainly pseudonyms.
What's so bad about sponsorships?
Under capitalism, the article says, every pursuit has its price. Every pleasure, even one as elemental as the joy of racing others around a track, is reduced to an advertising opportunity.
Yeah, true.
Thus, the so-called tournée becomes a competition between increasingly meaningless brand signifiers. Your discount laundry detergent racing against a pack of Astra cigarettes, or even a Frita.
Right, but then you get to see them crash.
And that precisely is what's problematic about it. Were it not for the promise of random, spectacular violence, audiences would quickly lose interest.
God, this is NASCAR. It's like NASCAR / Formula One.
At the end of the day, it's the destruction of these 750,000 real races that you're really watching for.
Wow, you're right. I am. No, I'm pretty sure I like it for the racing.
Sure, you think that, but subconsciously, it's the visions of brand names being engulfed in flames that you crave.
Yeah, I mean, they're not wrong.
It's the stilted language and overconfident tone that's the real giveaway here. You're almost certainly reading a recycled university essay, one that could probably use some edits.
Just never thought about it that much.
That's because you haven't been reading critically. But don't worry. The whole point of these sorts of articles is to let someone else read critically for you.
Yeah, and this article says that no one really watches Tip Top Tournée for the races.
Ah, come on. Can this article read your mind?
No, I guess not.
Well, there you have it. No reason to get hung up on the pretentious ramblings of a few young men. If I had to wager, I'd say they've never even seen the inside of a motor, much less a motor race. I take whatever they write with a large grain of salt.
Yeah, that's also fair.
You flip back to the front of the magazine. The table of contents unfolds before you.
God, that was just like a part of this this item. Let's see what they mean by local concerns.
Unsurprisingly, much of this section is taken up with articles declaring unqualified support for the dock workers' strike.
Yeah, it's fair.
You skim the headlines. Paint the harbor red and white. Martinez tames the wild pines. A city in revolt. First we take Martinez, then we take La Delta. Finally, there's a brief article by the writer, G. Martin, accusing the owner of the Cape Side apartments of illegally attempting to evict certain communist tenants simply for not having paid their rent.
Yeah, magazine discussion simulator, that'd be great. God, a lot of these are a lot. Yeah, I'm just gonna say charging. This is the most consistent with the character I'm playing. Charging rent just to live somewhere is pretty outrageous.
The writer G. Martin remarks dryly that capitalists love wealth redistribution, so long as it's only redistributed upward.
He's right. It just seems like this entire thing sucks.
You
It's
flip
so
back
bad.
to the front of the magazine. The table of contents unfolds before you.
Put the magazine away. Yeah, it seems a little overwrought. A little self-righteous and overwrought, I would say. The radio is emitting strange buzzing sounds.
An imposing combination of a punch clock and a payphone is looking down at you from the wall. A note on the side says, tokens unavailable due to strike. Use change.
Yeah, I think G. Martin's right. It just seems like his writing is pretty dry. Let's insert 10 cents.
The machine swallows your coin and seems to be waiting for your next move.
Let your muscle memory dial a random number.
Your fingers run
Nice.
over the dial pad. 005. That's the dialing code for Revachol. 4952, and a moment of hesitation before entering the final numbers. 993. Calling. Calling. Still calling. Then,
Video Revachol, 24-hour video rental. You rent
Of
8 and
course.
10mm film for home use. This is Lamy. How may I help you?
What is this place?
Video Revachol is a 24-hour video rental. We rent 8 and 10mm film for home use. This is Lamy.
Do you know me?
No.
No, man. What is this place to me?
Sir, I don't know. It's a video rental. Maybe you rent videos here.
Why did I call you?
Maybe you called to extend your rental period? Do you need to extend your rental period?
Maybe I don't even know my name.
If you need any further assistance, you can visit us on the corner of Voyager and Main. I can't help you over the phone. Are we done?
He sounds annoyed now.
he thinks you're pulling a prank on him. On the corner of Voyager and Main, a large neon sign hangs on the side of a building. Video Revachol, 24 hours. It's raining and there is almost no traffic on the street. A woman's footprints in the mud lead away from the front door.
Were there mentions of a video store in the hidden photo in our ledger? I forgot.
Tiny heels tiptoeing down the road. Beautiful steps, light-footed with a lifetime ahead of them. You look up and the air seems to grow darker. Suddenly you feel like you don't want to hear about video rentals anymore. You don't want to hear about any of it. It was all shit. It's over.
What was all shit?
It.
Kim, I feel sad about Video Revachol 24 hour.
That's enough for you today. Let's conclude this
Aw.
call.
Aw. Aw, Kim. We're done. Hang up the phone. Aw. He really does care. What a sweet guy. Oh, nice. A 450 postcard. We'll be selling that. For sure. Let's see what's here. Hey, magnesium. Ooh, neat office shades. -1 drama, +1 visual calculus. We'll use those if we need to do some visual calculus, and we'll pop a beta magnesium, because I think we still have a bit of this day left. And who knows what will happen, especially considering we're going up here now. I'm assuming that our coat is here, which would be great. I would love to just grab my coat and leave. Like, we can come back here another day. My understanding is that there's no, like, time rush in this game. Like, as long as you have a place to sleep, you can just keep going forever. I guess the one concern is before midnight, well, before, like, 2 a.m., we need to get $20, and we only have about $4, so... Yep, here's a code.
The tarpaulin cloak is still hanging on the railing. The white rectangle of the Revachol Citizens Militia is clearly visible on its back.
Grab the cloak.
As your fingers touch the tarpaulin, it almost feels like the cloak wants to deliver a message of comfort through your fingertips. I will shield you from the elements and give my life for yours. That's what the cloak is relaying.
And let's see. Is my badge on this? Is the other question that I have. What does this do? Ooh, +1 to spirit. Those are both really good. I mean, I don't really like a spirit decor, but it's not terrible. No badge. Sad. There's some tear here. Like that. It's actually quite a bit of it.
All those empty wine bottles and cigarette butts on the ground. Someone partied really, really hard here.
Did I do this?
Well, yes, I think we can say with relative confidence that it was you.
This is really sad. I must have been miserable.
Yes, this scene isn't exactly ripping with joy. Let's just move on.
Hey, it's at least $1 here, so that's good. I mean, it's not great that, you know. Listen, Mr. Dubois had a bad time, but at least he left a lot of bottles around the city, so we can get some money.
This is the night watchman's booth. The name on the door reads, Rene Arnaud.
This is where Renee works. I'm gonna look around. Search the booth.
If you must. But please hurry. We are pretty easy to spot up here.
Nothing incriminating catches your eye. The cabinets are clean and their sparse contents meticulously organized. There's a framed photograph on the table.
Take the picture.
It's a black and white photo of a young couple out in a street fair. The man, Rene, is dressed in a Royal Carabinier uniform. The girl is young and very pretty. She is smiling playfully at the camera.
Who's Renee again? Does anyone remember?
Rene looks like he's about to smile. This photo must be tied to some good memories.
Why did you take that picture of René?
I'm gonna ask him about it.
You're really interested in that old soldier.
Oh,
Not
right.
sure I understand your fascination, but sure. As long as it doesn't take up a whole lot of time.
Renee's the fascist.
This is
Rene Armand. I guess his normal work is watching this like toolbox up here. We'll keep looking around. Why not? White pine trees are printed onto the screen covering. Looks like a forest under snow. Let's see what's going on here. I'm gonna lower the volume a bit because the music here is very very loud. Nice, a good 68.68 real. Royal money. dollars and cents. I want to check out this. What does this do?
a rusting control panel with several knobs. 2 buttons marked Marche and Arrête are faded with use. It seems to control the large crane above. A container is attached to its hook block.
Hi, Eden.
Allumer on, étendre off.
Wait, why am I gonna mess with this? 2 buttons. Controls the large crane. Off.
The crane stands tall, proud, erect, and still.
On.
With a loud grind, the crane shifts
Nice.
overhead, moving a massive metal container through the air.
Kim's gonna be like, why did you do that? Actually, this might be good, because we might be able to get this set up in a way that'll open a new path. Oh. Hey, that looks bad. Please stay. Please stay. Ooh.
And with a surprisingly quiet thunk, the crane places the container down. This crane was built with a purpose, which has now been fulfilled. To move this container.
What's inside the container?
Who can say? All you know is, it's special.
Royal dollar.
I can't see how that was worth the ruckus, except for seeing the crane in action, which I admit was satisfying.
Yeah, exactly. We're gonna leave. Oh, Kim. Funny moments of Kim. See faded industrial lettering on the platform. Kvalsund.
Before you stands a cargo container, just one of many in the yard.
Lieutenant, I think there's something special about this container.
Is this like your thing with that wall again?
Maybe, I can't tell. I think we should investigate further.
You do? Because I don't.
Well, why not?
There are a million containers here. Why are you fixating on this one?
It was hanging from the crane.
You just picked one out because you wanted to interact with a cargo container. We are not here to interact with containers. We are here to get the body down from the tree.
That's true. If we need to, I'll open it up. Nothing more to do here for now. You got me there. Let me tell you. Shipyard is oddly quiet. The great machines are sleeping. Oh, it's another one of the cables they used, Right. I guess it's non-interactable. Oh, okay. Guess we're not looking at that. Oh, wait, hang on. Something, there is no work to do in the, organized in the yard below. Let's see what's in here. No? Illegal. Not allowed. Industrial size thermos. Smells like burnt coffee. Got $1.10. Another $1.10. I think that was like $1.03, whatever. For you. The banner sags under the weight of rain and snow. White waves on red. It's easy, Leo. He's gonna say something soon, I promise. Hang on, let me see if I can... Come on, buddy. I believe in you. Come on. Give it a shot. No? Okay.
The lyrics to this container song are being made up as he goes along.
Container, container, I'll turn you nice and red. Container, container, put the logos on.
The accent is so thick, it's impossible not to notice he's Ubi, from the vanishing peninsula of Ubisunt on Muindi.
Container, container, used to be Wild Pines. Container, container, now belongs to Everard.
The tiny man is so engaged in his work he doesn't notice you. Hi.
Everard, 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 he looks after everyone. Huh? Well, hey there.
He smiles.
How can I help you, mister?
The look in his deep blue eyes is as sincere as you've ever seen. Kind of makes you feel like an arsehole for no apparent reason.
I see you are not a union man, mister. Did you get lost? You're not one of them scabs, are you?
Shadow passes over his kind face. What is it with you people in scabs?
I mean, I don't personally mind. Folks is just folks, you know, and folks gotta eat.
He doesn't seem to be waiting for you to answer. Okay, some of the other guys don't look too kindly on the scabbing kind, if you know what I mean, mister. What's in that container over there?
Oh, that one. That should be empty as far as I know. Lots of containers here have nothing in them. They're just waiting to be loaded up.
What are you doing with the containers?
Oh, I'm just making some covers for them containers here. Yes, I am. Yes, I am. So it's easier for the crane operators to spot them.
What's going on here? Look at the mountains of containers rising behind. This is a red truck, so hopefully we get a miss.
Everything is so pretty and red. You and Leo look like brothers as you glance around with similar childlike wonder.
Wow, red is much prettier than drab green.
Sure is, mister. Sure is. Really livens up the place. Yes, it does. Yes, it does.
Well, we still gotta get our, I mean, I guess we're not here to pick up loose change, but we also do have to get, you know, we gotta pay for our night's rest.
I had to break this bonding moment. The red containers mean they are replacing the company livery with the union livery.
Right.
Which means this strike isn't gonna stop anytime soon.
Are you the Leo who wrote the note to make more banners?
Oh, yes, yes. I leave all kinds of notes for myself. That old head of mine ain't so good at keeping things in no more. I almost forgot about the borscht.
I like him. What was that about the borscht?
Oh, yes. I've been taking special whirling borscht to the men every day since the strike started.
Little guy chuckles merrily.
It's very, very good. Makes a man feel so warm and happy. I feel like I could take on Mr. Renadan's boar dogs every time the lunch is done.
He shakes his head with a whole smile. What do you mean by taking this soup to the men? Is it for striking?
Yes, yes. I'm taking it to them. The borscht keeps them happy and in fighting spirits. Makes you all warm inside. They brew it in the whirling in rags.
Hold up, who makes it at the whirling?
Oh, the whirling's cook.
Oh.
He makes it. Them is always talking with Mr. Manana in that weird language and laughing together. He doesn't speak what we speak. He's from Grad.
Something is off about this borscht. I'm gonna look into it.
Oh, sure, mister. Sure. You do that. Yes, sir.
I'm looking for the leader of the dock workers union.
Oh, you want Mr. Everett then? He's an awfully nice fellow, he is. Him and his brother are both nice fellows. They've lived their entire lives in this here neighborhood.
He coughs and continues immediately.
Guys like Mr. Everett and Mr. Edgar, his brother, are real good guys. Made Martinez what it is today. Mr. Everett and Mr. Edgar and I went to the same school, we did, when we were boys.
Patience. Deep down, you have the mental power to keep listening. Not many would, but you do.
Do not interrupt, Leonard.
Had an arithmetics teacher, Miss Bellows. Her real name was Miss Bellams. She was a real pretty lady, but when she got mad,
Leo lets out a little chuckle and then he starts laughing.
all the boys liked her, if you know what I mean, mister. We used to sneak in her yard in the dark and peek through the window. One time we saw Miss Bellows with a fellow. Yes, we did, mister.
This one's so bad. No, you fucking didn't. Don't say anything.
Them was naked too. That's all I got to say about that.
He keeps nodding and looking at you with a smile that's too sincere to be clever. Finally, he seems to lose some internal struggle and adds, very interesting, very interesting. Thank you for telling me the whole thing.
Thank you. Almost forgot. Mr. Everett is in that container over there. I got distracted telling the story, but he's in there.
Some of these are not very smart questions. Yeah, do you work here?
Yes. Everybody needs a job, and this is mine. I'm Leonard, by the way. Leonard Bellick. But everyone calls me Leo.
The little man raises his hand in welcoming gesture.
I'm like Mr. Everett's right-hand man when Mr. Edgar is out of town, and Mr. Edgar's right-hand man when Mr. Everett is away.
He chuckles.
Actually, Miss Beaufort is the right-hand man, but she's a lady.
A good hard chuckle again.
Who is this, Miss Beaufort?
Lieutenant looks up at Leo.
A real pretty lady with a skin like those Douai Sucre candy bars my missus likes so much. Them are real nice to suckle on once the dinner is done and me and the missus sit down beside the radio.
God.
But I can't listen to the radio all the time. There's so much to do around here and I'm always busy keeping things running here. Yes I am.
Stay on this Miss Beaufort topic.
Hold on, who's this Miss Beaufort you mentioned?
Oh, Lizzie. She is a real sharp tool. Mr. Everett put her through some fancy school and everything, east of the river. 4 years she was gone, and when she came back, she was all fancy and lawyerly. But she's a real nice girl. Grew up in this here neighborhood, knows everybody and gets along with everyone. Real pillar of the community one day, I'm sure.
For a fraction of a second, there's sadness in his eyes.
If me missus and me was to have a child, I'd be real happy if she turned out like her. But she can't have kids.
He goes on.
Dr. Lemaitre said so, and she knows about such things. Been a doctor for almost 50 years she has.
He sighs and falls silent, watching you meekly with his blue eyes.
Law school? Could she be talking about the union fixer, aka the gardener?
Okay, so this is the union fixer, the gardener.
Looks like it.
I'm not sure what a fixer is, but she is a real nice girl. Smart as a whip too.
The little guy smiles a disarming smile at you. Okay, I'm off.
Bye-bye now.
I like easy Leo. I'm starting to actually look like a cop a little bit. I guess the code helps. Yeah, it's really good. It's a very good accent. A little bit Irish. A little bit of something else. Still gotta get that body out of that tree. We still don't have our badge or our gun, so... I was hoping we would get our gun by doing this, but apparently not. Like, I was hoping that our badge would be on our coat. Coffee in the giant thermos is still lukewarm. Me, little big dick. Stair made of pallets lighting up. Alright, let's talk to Everard here. I'm guessing this is Everard. Oh, okay, I gotta go up. A taxidermy fish that tells time. Alright, buddy. There he is.
Before you is a walrus of a man seated behind a large desk. He looks up from his work, not the least bit surprised to see you. With great effort, he straightens himself up in his chair, yet says nothing. He simply stares at you. A typical power play. Wait for him to speak first. Show him you've got a backbone.
Say nothing. Look him dead in the eye.
The one good eye of this man fills you up without even flickering. The other, his lazy eye, is constantly moving like a goldfish in a tank. For a moment, you don't know where to look. It is unbearably humid in the trailer. Beads of sweat slide down the man's forehead.
Imagine this face is just looking at you, just like. Just got the expression trained right on you.
Yet, he's unperturbed, holding his own.
Keep staring.
At first, nothing happens. His face wears a wide and self-satisfied smile. Every now and then, he smacks his big lips.
So,
He begins to speak, albeit very slowly, purposefully leaving a pause after his opener.
Mr. Dubois, Mr. Kitsuragi, how nice that you found a moment to pay a visit to the Debardairs Union. I'm Everard Clare, head of this little operation here.
He's full Minecraft YouTuber voice.
Please, have a seat.
He gestures to a tiny folding chair opposite his giant desk.
You go ahead, detective.
Whatever he has in store for you, it can't be good, he thinks. I'll do my best. Forget about that. What's with this Dubois stuff? You're getting some seriously bad vibes from that name.
Alright, call me Mr. Dubois.
Please, Mr. Dubois, let us converse in a civilized manner, as equals. Take a seat. I insist.
He's got a good voice, I like it.
It's nothing. Yes, that's probably right. It's nothing. Forget about it. Filter it out.
Take a seat.
Excellent, Mr. Dubois. I can see that you're a reasonable man, and reasonable men can be of great use to one another.
Remain serious.
So tell me, how can the head of the Debardairs Union help a representative of the Revachol Citizens Militia today?
The chair you're sitting on has got to be the most uncomfortable
Oh, God.
chair in the world.
I took a literal physical
It's
damage from that.
violating your backside.
Alright.
Oh, by the way, I heard you got a rather rude reception from a certain Lawrence Gart. Some people have no manners, it pains me to say. This should take care of that nonsense.
He points to a giant novelty check on his desk. It's absolutely comically huge.
It should be sufficient to cover your expenses for a few days and patch
Okay.
over your differences with a cafeteria manager. Go ahead, take it.
He points at it again.
Hey, that's 25 real. That's good money. Think of all the stuff you could.
I don't think I should take this bribe. Well, you know Gart?
Yes, I know Lawrence. He's a real character. No union man in him. A real piece of work, that boy is.
With a grin, he points to the checker game. It's like you're on a game show. At least don't thank him for it.
Yeah, I could either take it. I mean, I need that money. I might lose the entire game if I don't have that money. Should I do a vote? Let's do a poll. I know I could actually hang on. We don't have to do a poll. Let me get the integration up. That's what I should really do. Might take a second here. Just gotta get it going. Also, I need to... Here. Okay, 1 second. Gonna get this going. Forgot to open that. Because I gotta open and close it every time I stream this, or every time I stream something else. Alright, configure it. Wait for it to load. There we go. I should be able to activate it. Okay, the overlay should be on. And let me get it set up for the game proper. Connect. There we go. Alright, we're gonna do a vote. Wait, isn't that how this works, right? I just click on the thing, right? Is it working? Do y'all see like a poll thing? I'm not sure. I'm not sure how it works. I pressed the button. For sure. Yeah, I'm not entirely sure how it works. No poll, okay. Let's just do just do one of these. Take the check. Yes. No. And we'll keep it tight. 1 minute. All right. Yeah, maybe it has to like load up the way that it works or something. I could really use the money, but also, but also we like. It's not good to take a bribe. Looking at 3 no's. I guess we're not taking it. I'll wait until it's over. No, sorry, not bribe. It's good to take a bride. It's not good to take a bribe. Yeah, looks like we're leaving the check. Keep it, I'm good. Leave the check.
Okay, okay. I respect a man with principles. No handouts, then.
It's not necessarily that he thinks I'm someone else, it's that I think I'm someone else. I am Harry Dubois. He just he thinks that I'm, or I think I'm not. Yeah, I did not take the bribe. And, yeah, like, it's not good. This guy is involved in an active murder investigation. It is not good to take a bribe from him. He crosses his arms on the ample midsection, sinks further into the chair.
Now, I'd like to set your mind at ease about one other matter. Your lost gun. Let me assure you, Union people are on it as we speak. I've got my best hounds looking for that lost gun.
I don't know how, like, he should not be doing that.
His slug-like lips move, but all you hear is an echo. Lost gun, lost gun, lost gun.
I have a vague sense of who has it. It's either, Kunes, or it's the other girl, the skull girl.
The world is swallowed
Oof.
by a black hole of fear. Only 2 words escape its gravitational pull. Lost and gun.
I'd appreciate any help you can provide.
Are you all right, Harry? You seem anxious. Don't be. Everything's going to be all right. It's not like you left it loaded. You didn't lose a loaded gun. Local children aren't out there playing with it right now, pointing it into their own mouths. It's in a safe place. I just know it. I have a feeling everything's going to be all right.
Kim.
Officer, we will deal with this later. We don't need Mr. Clare's help with this.
I wouldn't be so sure about that.
Don't panic. 3%. Unlikely.
God, you're sweating. Your knee is jerking. You're about to cry, aren't you? You're about to cry because you lost your gun and those children are gonna shoot themselves with it.
So what? Men can cry too.
You want to cry? God, you're weak. Whatever you do, don't cry. He'll think you're disgusting.
Mr. Dubois, you don't look so good.
What is this, Mr. Dubois? He keeps repeating. What is he trying to pull?
Oh god. Oh
We
no.
need to cool the fuck down.
This is not
Chill.
good. Uh-oh.
Mr. Dubois! Mr. Dubois! Harry!
The large man snaps his fingers, but to no effect. You're in some stupor. There are no Harrys. Let your mind go to your safe place.
While Everard is distracted by your odd behavior, The lieutenant's eyes are mapping everything around
Nice.
you. The folder, desk, papers on the wall.
Mr. Dubois, are you okay? Can I get you a glass of water or something? Are you having some kind of medical emergency?
Maybe you could use your hands somehow, in a kind of throw-in motion, like you're throwing that Mr. Dubois act right back at him. He's Mr. Dubois.
Actually, this chair is uncomfortable. I could use that glass of water.
What an odd demonstration of... you got me, Harry. I don't even know what. As entertaining as it was, I'm afraid we're wasting our time. And I'm an extremely busy man, as I'm sure you are too.
Okay, enough. We are here to ask you some questions pertaining to a murder investigation.
It is about time to stop embarrassing yourself.
Yeah.
Questions will help you regain some of your lost dignity.
This isn't true. That's not true. That's not true. Call me Mr. Dubois. Why?
Of course. Let us dispatch with the formalities. You call me Everard, I call you Harry.
That's what the hanged corpse called you. Harry.
That's really my name.
My God, so it's true. I didn't want to believe it, but you are a fantastic science fiction amnesiac cop, aren't you? What are the odds of that?
A lot is happening.
I think the odds of that are very low.
It's true, man. My memory is a bit hazy.
I assure you, there's nothing to be ashamed of, Harry. You're among friends, and the good news is...
He taps on the folder in front of him.
I have a big fat folder on you, Harry. I'm sure you have a lot of questions to ask. Maybe I can help you out. I'm sure you had some concerns you thought I might be able to address. And you were probably right. I can.
He pauses to look down on a brown folder on his desk.
Are you trying to tell me you've gotten hold of some of our documents?
Mr. Kitsuragi, would you mind? Me and Harry are talking about his lost identity right now.
Asking too many questions will make you look weak. You should maybe focus on the folder. Don't just jump to the folder. That's not smart. Shows you're on the edge. Do some probing first.
Okay. Volition and drama are telling me to do different things. Asking too many questions will make you look weak. Should maybe focus on the folder. I'm tempted to agree with Volition, especially since Volition is a medium. Where'd you get that folder?
Ah, this? My friends in your organization gave it to me, Harry.
This is the folder.
I find that very suspicious. May I have a look?
I'm afraid this is meant for Union eyes only, Mr. Kitsuragi. I'm sure you understand. Please continue, Harry.
Yeah, I'll go 72. Come on.
As you look
yeah.
at the folder, Everard covers it with his hand and pets it. He's hiding it from you because it's not a real RCM
Hell
folder.
yeah.
It's just another one of those brown folders you saw in the file cabinet.
That's not an RCM folder.
Okay, Harry, you got me. This is from the Census Bureau, not the RCM. Those Census Bureau people are absolutely corrupt. You should do something about them.
He says, grinning.
He got the name from the Census Bureau, and everything else from your actions here in Martinez.
Yes, Mr. Kitsuragi from the Census Bureau. Like I said.
He looks annoyed.
Now I'm actually a very busy man. So is there anything else I can do for you, Harry?
That means he doesn't really know anything about you.
Yeah.
A pity. The mystery of you will have to remain a mystery for the time being.
So the Census Bureau says my name is Harry DeBlanc.
Yes, that's what I said. Try to keep up, okay? Let's move on.
Could you help me get a dead body down from a tree?
You might have noticed there's one hanging on a tree behind the hostel cafeteria.
Oh my. Don't take this question personally, but why would I get involved in this matter?
You already did, buddy.
Mr. Clare, the man was hanged with a cargo belt. A steel-reinforced cargo belt. It's safe to assume the Union had something to do with the murder. Besides, getting the body down would benefit all of us. It's a stain on the neighborhood.
Yeah, say nothing. Let Kim's let Kim's words hang.
I can certainly see how having him up there might start affecting some real estate values.
He licks his fat lips and smiles.
But of course, all joking aside, I am going to help you.
Picks up the handset of a radio phone to his right, then clicks a button.
Jean-Luc, the cop who bested you in physical combat is here, and he has a little dead body in a tree problem. Namely, he needs it to be taken down. Please extend him this courtesy. You can find Luke down at the gates, but you already knew that. Anyway, he's going to help you, now that he's back on his feet.
Talk about my... Actually, no, it's a bad idea. I want to talk about the hangar.
Oh, of course. That's your main thing here. That's why
Your main
you're in
thing.
Martinez. I know everything that goes on around here, and I would love to help you, like I'm helping you with the body. I mean, it's no secret that the lynching is connected to the strike. So much to talk about. Honestly, it's been weighing on me so heavily. I understand you need to interview me.
Say nothing.
But there's a thing that's been keeping me up
Yep.
at night. I want to talk about the hanging. I mean, if we could just calmly talk, exchange information, we could blow this thing wide open.
Well, it's because you did it.
Yes, that sounds good. Let's do that.
Lieutenant says with a slow nod.
But I can't think straight with this thing weighing on me. You're police officers, aren't you? I have a crazy idea. You guys are basically door-opening machines. Incredibly talented at opening doors.
Game, is that true? Are we door opening machines?
I'm not sure I understand. If you're asking us to break down someone's door, it's not going to happen.
Oh, my personality? It's talking about that body. It's my kind of thing. Or sorry, it's kind of my thing. He looks to the union boss.
Come now. I just need you to go open a little door for me and leave it unlocked. A simple thing. Absolutely nothing shady about it.
Does this jiggling ooze think he's going to use you? He's got another thing coming. Play his game, son, with your eyes peeled. He's going to slip up, and when he does, you're going to come out on top.
Whose door is it?
Oh, no one's. It's just a weasel. A weasel lives there. Nothing for you to worry about.
What do you mean by a weasel?
A loud blabbering weasel. When weasels feel no one is watching, they start acting foolishly.
He removes his glasses and rubs his nose.
Just go there, unlock the door, and leave it open. It's been such a burden on me, Harry. I just want this to be over so I can discuss business with you.
He puts his glasses back on. Why don't you just open it yourself?
Harry, I'm a very busy man, and more importantly, I don't have that extraordinary physique you do. You look like you could run around all day.
He slams his fists together.
You want to send someone a message that the police are working for you.
I repeat, I'm a very, very busy man, Mr. Kitsuragi, and therefore I must occasionally enlist outside help. So what will it be, Harry?
The physical instrument said, play his game, son, with your eyes peeled. He's going to slip up, and when he does, you're going to come out on top. I think we should accept it. Damn it, fine. I'll look into it. We need to talk about that murder.
Fantastic, my friend. Just let me know when it's done and we can take our friendship to the next level.
There's nothing shady about this at all. He is not corrupt. He flicks his fingers.
You can get the key from Manana. He's down by the gates. Manana's like a free agent in the Union. Special operations. Hardened socialist. A real free thinker, too. He'll tell you precisely where the door is. One last thing, Harry.
He smiles, obviously satisfied with how well he planned it all out.
Just open the door. You don't need to go in or anything. I just want that weasel to come home and see the unlocked door.
Let's talk about my lost gun.
Yes, your lost gun. My best men are on it. They're turning every stone, searching every playground, asking kids, grandmas, everyone.
His face turns serious.
Your gun will be found, Harry. Let me assure you of that.
He winks
It's
at you.
just a matter of time and effort.
The only way to find it seems to be working with him. He might even be holding your gun hostage.
Hold on, could he really hold my gun hostage?
Who knows? Only one thing is certain. If you work with him, you're going to get it back. And working with him might be the only way to do it.
Wait, The gun may have been bought from Roy's pawn shop. Have your men factored that in?
Yes. Thank you for the hot tip regarding your lost gun, Harry. My men have indeed factored in that you pawned it.
He makes air quotes.
Now, please, let the professionals do their job. Kick back, Harry, relax. I have great guys on this. You focus on what's important. Building our relationship for the good of Martinez.
It did not come as a surprise to him. He might actually not be bullshitting.
This mean if I do things for you, I'll get my gun back?
Damn it, Harry. That's exactly what it means. I'm only kidding, of course.
He turns to the lieutenant.
Of course. I understand. We help you, you help us.
I met Joyce, the company representative.
Oh, that's very nice. I haven't gotten around to her yet. I'm very, very busy, you see.
He just a button
I
on
hope you're
sleeve.
getting along. One thing I want to make very clear, Harry, is that this is not some kind of union versus corporation situation. Everyone is just pals here.
Seems unlikely. Just pals?
We're all trying to do what's best for Martinez here. Don't feel like you can't cooperate with her because you and I are such good friends and I'm helping you get that nasty body down from the tree. And with finding your lost gun. I'm not a jealous guy.
His smile widens.
Whoa, that's so nice of him.
Yeah.
Suspiciously nice.
Are you sure? I find it a little odd.
I'm just a nice guy, Harry. I wouldn't be where I am now if I wasn't nice. Politics is all about emotions, and I want you to have positive emotions when you think of me.
Yeah, this dude sucks. He doesn't always glue. When he does, he prefers policemen. What happened to the previous negotiator, Mr. Calmont?
What do you mean, Harry? Nothing. I let him go.
He made concessions for the company in previous negotiations. Why would you let an ally like that go?
He's an old man, Harry. I wanted him to spend more time with his family. God knows how long he's got left.
He called him a shh.
Harry! I have little people in my organization. I would never call someone a midget. What is this? Honestly, I'm beginning to think you're a midget, Harry. I'm only kidding, Harry. You're not a midget. No one is. We're pals.
A lot going on here. Abruptly, he smiles and changes his tone. Oh, sorry, he exclaimed that indignant Harry. Yeah. Joyce said the previous union leader vanished under suspicious circumstances.
Vanished? Harry, the woman left her casserole in the oven and couldn't make it here in time for the voting.
Are you certain about that?
Oh, did I leave my casserole on? Better go home and check. The election can wait. When she got back, the whole thing was over.
The man frowns disapprovingly.
Wait, there was no mention of a casserole from Joyce.
Funny. Joyce didn't mention any casserole.
Harry, Harry, Harry.
He
Do not
flicks his
fixate
fingers.
on this little matter. Maybe it was a rabbit stew, or a hairdryer, or an iron. The point is, her heart wasn't in it. Mine was.
Yeah, this man is so trustworthy and non-corrupt. He's so busy and he's my best friend.
That much is true. His heart truly is in it, though you wouldn't think so by looking at him. If it's spilled blood you're looking for, then there certainly isn't any in his expression or demeanor now.
Everard, Joyce seems to think the Union is lowballing her.
Yes, yes. Low balling, of course. This isn't a casino, Harry. Real people, real livelihoods are at stake here. But everything's a casino for those rich types.
He's suddenly very serious. Why haven't you let her in to see you?
If she actually wants to see me, she will find a way. Any good negotiator would. And I just don't have anything to discuss with a bad negotiator.
You put my dude put an 8-foot-tall Senegalese phrenologist between him and everyone else. Why does he think that the negotiator's gonna come and see him? I guess the other way is to go past some drug-addicted children and jump off a roof. That's the other way to get to him, I guess.
He doesn't want to see her. It's as simple as that.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, let's talk about something else.
Of course, Harry. Let me just assure you one more time. It's perfectly okay to share anything we discuss here with this Joyce. This is a completely transparent organization.
Of course, of course.
I have no interest in what she is doing, but I myself have nothing to hide. Your business is your business, and I respect your privacy. Just remember, none of this is secret.
He makes an all-encompassing gesture. I don't trust this.
Tell her about all of it. My brother's picture, my singing swordfish clock. Tell her how overweight I am and how I'm helping you find your lost gun. Tell her about everything. Everett doesn't mind.
It is rather interesting to tell people things about each other, isn't it? It was nice telling him about her right now.
What's in the container that's outside your office?
My dear Harry, there are literally millions of containers in this harbor. I couldn't possibly remember what's in all of them.
There's something special about it. It was attached to that Kavalson creed.
Harry, you smooth-talking son of a bitch. Time is a precious resource, and I don't have enough of it to count containers with you.
He says with the fondest of smiles.
Smooth talking. Maybe that's the way to go about opening the container. You should at least try convincing it.
It's just a container, I'm pretty sure. It seems empty. I don't want to play my hand on some of these, so I'm gonna leave for now.
Wait. You need this to get in and out through the gate.
Great, wouldn't want to get stuck in here.
Here, you're one of us now. A real red and white union man. Take care, Harry.
Yeah, I don't know about that one, Chief. Can I go behind you? I'm guessing not. Yeah, no. Alright, buddy. Yeah. You hate to see it. Not really. The union boss, who's very, very corrupt, is trying to get me, like, on his side. But also, he definitely, like, took the... So basically, what was supposed to happen... Well, not supposed to. There was another person who was running, and my sense is that he disappeared the person who used to be running. Yeah, some good soundtrack. Can I, anything out of this guy? He's not talking. Oh, hey, mister, I know you'd be back with old Leo here. Yes, I did. Yes, I did. It's like Lady Arish said when she opened a bathhouse in the basement of my apartment building. They can only get so far before they're aching to get back. And a lot of folks really did keep on coming back. I had some questions for you, if that's not too much trouble.
No trouble at all, mister. No trouble at all. It's like that old saying goes, wisdom withers if not shared. And old Leo is always up for sharing.
Okay, it looks like we're not getting anything new from him. So I guess we'll go and get, hey, let me see. Can I open this now? No. Yeah, it is really full of savory and unsavory characters. Yeah, no, we're not looking in the container. Every sign points to there being nothing in there. Valsen means whale fjord in Arden. Composite eye of halogen lights watches you, emitting a low buzz. Okay. Still no badge. Still having trouble on the badge front. No badges allowed. Okay. I don't think there should be anything new here. There is this payphone. I'm curious if we could maybe get... I know that I believe the cryptozoologist wife is looking for a payphone, but I don't know if she could get up here. Especially since I believe that she's in a wheelchair and like this entire area is just stairs. It stairs all the way up and down. At least I think we had to go up at least one flight of stairs. I mean, I guess someone could bring her, but I don't know who. Yeah, stairs. Rip. Hey, buddy. Okay, he's taking a bit to talk.
Do not presume this has drastically altered our race dynamic.
It was just something I had to do.
Our personal dynamic has changed. A little.
I can still subscribe, but I don't want to. Everard told you to help us get the body down from the tree.
So it was. You bested me in race
Oh my
combat
God.
to reach my superior, then had him give me an order. I salute your cunning, enemy. I will go and remove the body from the tree with my bare hands.
You're so noble, Measurehead.
Jesus.
But while I am gone, someone must stand guard on the bridge. That someone needs to be you. Both of you.
Lieutenant, what if we don't want to do that?
This is the uncomfortable result of not taking it on ourselves. I can live with a compromise.
Listen to your little friend. He is wise in his childlike way. His mysterious race may yet prove fierce competition to my heroic haplogroup.
Okay, then. I'll wait here while Measurehead goes.
Bane, see that they stay here the whole time.
With my bare hands. I'm sure hoping that we don't have to, like, defend the bridge from anyone. Because I don't think I'm very strong. And I guess I'm pretty strong.
The woman's gaze follows Measurehead as he leaves.
So, you guys are like cops or something?
Apparently so.
Cool. I like men with guns and power. I'm Katya, by the way.
You hear that? That sound. He's breaking something.
Yeah, Jean-Luc must be really tearing it up over there. I wish I could see it.
I don't. I've seen enough of that dead body already.
Look at you! RCM rent-a-cops! Guarding that bridge like Everard's lapdogs! Is this where it's at now? The RCM is for sale!
A loud voice booms in from below.
And who are you? What is your business here? Why are your clothes 4 sizes too small for you?
That's none of your business.
The man turns to look behind him at the behemoth appearing around the corner, approaching him, walking past him.
Measurehead's back.
The corpse has been removed from the tree. Stand down and congratulate yourself. You have sided with Ray's victory today.
I don't really need to argue with him. Thanks for your cooperation, Measurehead.
Farewell, ham sandwich. You are a Union man from now on.
No, I'm leaving. This is true. Actually, I don't have a gun, so I need to talk to him really quick.
So, how'd you like our harbor?
He stares at you with his hazy eyes. Was nice enough.
It's but a rest area on the path leading across open plains.
He nods solemnly, then turns to you, a wide smile adorning his face.
Right. You talk to the boss, eye to eye, like men of the plain. If you have any more questions, I'm set to talk.
Everard said you have a key to a door.
A key, huh? What door is this key supposed to open?
He runs his fingers over through his mustache. He said it belonged to a weasel.
Oh, say no more. I got you.
He taps the side of his nose with a little wink.
I got that key right here. And let me tell you, it's mighty good of you to help us out during the strike. Working class solidarity, as they say.
I'm gonna lie. I'm not opening this door for myself. I'm opening it for all working men.
I knew this man was a commie. And it's a good thing you're doing too.
He
Thanks.
smiles, tilting his head.
What you're looking for is a basement door behind the greenhouse. That's behind the wailing in rags. That's all I know. Our organization is what you call compartmentalized. Means we keep out of each other's business.
Hi, Pineapple Jane. Welcome. I also hi Osgo. And bless your Hoyle Crassus. Crassus. Yeah, they're kind of Metal Gear Solid concept art-ish.
Okay, but where did you get the key from?
The janitor gave it to me. Nice fella. We talked about life and things that really, truly matter.
His gaze wanders off into the distance.
None of this mess we're in. This jiving and juggling. What's it for? To feed our children, I guess.
Anything else I should know about this task? The weasel person? When I'll be home?
I'm more of a philosophical dock worker. I like to talk about the big picture stuff. Who I am, who you are, what we are fighting for.
The man takes a big sip from his flask.
Who he is and what they're fighting for? This is interesting. Ask him about the Hardy Boys.
Actually, do you know anything about the Hardy Boys?
Los Hardys? They're an independent militant group. A bit too high-strung, but it comes with the responsibility. They're sort of like you. Preserve the rule of law and all that. Except it's Everard's law. But really, they're just like you.
Good talking to you. Gotta run. I already know, Gilda. I mean, I don't know if it was specifically the Hardy Boys, but the Union is claiming responsibility, right? Let's sell her tear. Yeah. Good to see ya. The Oddities. Los Oddities. Stretching a little bit in my chair. Alright, let's sell our tear.
The tear machine. Your bottles clunk into the machine.
Nice. Good 130. How's our situation going? Let's see. I might need to sell some of our things from our good friend. I'd also sell some clothing. I mean, I don't really use all this, I guess, but also who knows when I will need it, right? I can probably drop the physical instrument one. I can put something else on. Let's put on the drama one. God, this is a powerful look. I like it a lot. Track pants, cop, patrol coat. It's really good. And the mesh shirt and the tie. It's a very good look. Praise the room temperature discount beer. That's right. Yeah, so we're trying to get some money now, I think. I think that's probably our next goal. And then I believe at 21 we're gonna go, and that's 9 p.m., right? No, wait, no. Yeah, it's 9 p.m. Yeah, 21 we're gonna go talk to the smoker on the balcony in his apartment. I'm actually curious if Joyce now is, like, okay with us, because we are wearing our police coat. I don't know if that'll help. Alternatively, maybe the Hardy Boys will talk to us now because we're, we've talked to Everard. We can try a couple things here. Music in this is really good. Let's see. Doesn't seem like it. Yeah, I could talk to her about Everard.
Good. What can I help you with?
I don't think I want to do this yet. I'm gonna hold. Because that might take up too much time. Yeah, the music is really great. I think I want to go to the pawn shop. Actually, let's talk to Sorry, he's not here. Where's the guy? I want to talk to the fascist. Where is he? No, not Rene Arno. Arno. Alright, he works. I think he plays right outside of the Whirling Rags, right? Down by the craters. Here he is. Rene, I have your photo. Rene, I found you. Oh, yeah.
Sharpens your nocturnal instincts. Feels like being on recon again.
Rene, I found your guard booth.
Yes. The Debardeurs Union pays me to stand vigil during the nights. Not out of any political allegiance, mind you.
He looks down.
I'm an old man. Don't sleep more than a few hours every night anyway, and money is tight.
Yeah.
He feels like he has to justify himself for some reason.
You must have seen something on the night of the murder. Your booth looks right into the yard.
Yes, it does. Unfortunately, I wasn't working that night. Been on a 2-week leave since last Monday.
Hold on, why are you on leave?
It's a private matter. Nothing to do with your investigation.
You see, officer, René is the kind of man would rather die than admit he needs medical assistance or, God forbid, sick it. A real man's man is just gonna ride it out.
Why are you making me feel bad for this monarchist?
I'm fine, goddammit. Mind your own business. It's nothing. Just got to cut back on coffee.
The outburst makes him clutch his chest.
It's his heart.
Who was working your shift that night?
No one. The boss has been unmanned since last Monday. There's no other guard. It's just me.
No one has been guarding the container yard since last Monday.
Yes. It's not actually an issue. I mean...
He nods before hesitantly continuing.
Look, officer. The container yard doesn't actually need a guardsman. Never had one before René. Monsieur Claire had that booth built specially for him. It's mostly decorative.
Mostly decorative.
The possibility of someone being in there is enough to discourage any ill-minded individuals.
He tries to argue.
Evrard created this job for René because he knows the Royal Carabiniers' pension of honor and PTSD isn't something a man can live off. A decorated Kingsman collecting tear reflects bad on the whole neighborhood.
Yeah.
His words.
René is but one man. We need a program. Get all the elderly back in the job market. Keep folks motivated. I could say that. Or I could do this. This is probably the most lefty the thing that I could say. Yeah, I'll say this. I'll get
Look,
EXP.
Officer.
Or I don't.
Let me conclude the topic of my guard booth now.
I saw a picture in there. You were in it. You looked happy. Who's the girl?
She is nobody. This is none of your concern. And I refuse to discuss my private affairs with the RCM.
His features stiffen and he gets a cold look.
The lady is Jeanne-Marie Beaulieu, and she sure as hell wasn't a nobody.
Got it, thanks.
Yes. Like I said, it would be up anyway, so might as well keep an eye out. It keeps my senses sharp.
Hey, that's about the statue. Saw the statue of Felipe III near the roundabout.
Ah, yes. King Philip III on his steed. A reminder of what Revachol once was.
Oh, absolutely. at the mercy of a cocaine-snorting tyrant who emptied the treasury so he could sleep on a bed of gold.
He smiles as if we're reliving a pleasant memory.
A superpower, feared and respected. A testament to what this country can be under the leadership of a true king. Someone who knows how to rule.
How should a true king rule?
Decisively, without fear of offending the sensibilities of the frail and weak-minded among his subjects. This is something the insurgents never understood.
Seems to me the leader should take care of his people for himself.
A nation is only as strong as its leader. That's why it was such madness to try to...
Don't get started on that again. What happened, happened.
There's some weariness in his voice now. He's heard this rant many times before.
The Carabiner doesn't reply, but his entire being communicates unbreakable resolve. No one and nothing can change this man's mind. He is as rigid as they come, still in that antique uniform. It's a symbol for him.
Talk about something else.
Right.
I don't have enough composure. Thank you for your time. I'd like to boost Volition. Volition is our like main skill, and I have not gotten any. Or at least that much. Except changes in clothes. Oh wait, do you lose yeah, it looks like damage actually reduces certain... Wait, why do I have... Oh right, okay, I see. Gotcha. Yeah, it's just psych. That makes sense. Okay. Armendorf ever. I'm curious about the borscht. 21. Let's go to the pawn shop. I went the wrong way. I love how like everything is like stacked up in this game. Like you can kind of see how like in certain parts like the old like hang on, I'm gonna go back. Like, this is all concrete, right? But then you can see like it looks like almost mosaic peeking up from under the dirt. It's really cool. And I love how that's like near Renee, which is like so... Okay. We're gonna go talk to our sad pawnbroker friend.
Hello, hello. Let me know if I can help you with anything.
Yeah, there's some great little details.
Sure.
Sell.
Let me have a look.
I like to sell my clothes.
I'm not and especially
Oh, sorry.
that tie. It swallows photons around it. I have no need for necrotic objects.
Okay, he's not buying clothing.
Your mother is a necrotic object. I'm fun. Look at me sparking in the light of the projector.
Check my pockets.
Anything else you're thinking of selling?
I don't really feel, I feel about selling this guy's photo. Yeah, I'll pawn this off. Pawn the handkerchief off. Pawn the pen off. It's still not gonna be close, even if I sell that. Yeah, I gotta get more money. How though? I'm not sure. I don't have anything to sell at the moment.
Another time, perhaps.
Leave. Hi, Bun. Welcome. Yeah, we need money. I didn't want to sell it. We gotta get some money somehow. It is regrettable that I decided to buy the disc tape thing. Okay. Yeah, I know there's like a dumpster that you can sleep in. I read that somewhere. Someone said that. Is that the one behind the... Is that like by the Whirling in Rags? I could really use some money. Or at least a place to sleep, right? Oh, I meant to also... I didn't do this last time. I meant to unlock more the thought cabinet space. Hey, you doing okay?
You missed a good show before. A kid came by and completely fucked the tree to pieces.
He fucked the tree up! Fucked it good! It was porno!
Wish I could have been here to see it. Now I have some questions.
Shoot that shit at Kuno, Pigonaut.
Okay, I'm off.
Kuno doesn't fuck.
Alright, let's look at the body. Well, it's down. Oh, sorry, the corpse lies on the ground among the remains of an
Corpse
absolute...
lies
Okay.
on the ground among the remains of an absolutely demolished pinewood branch.
Don't know how we got
It's
that.
gently laid on one side.
Well, it's down. Celebrate in more reserved manner. Oh, nice, 70 XP. I guess I'll speak for Kim. Mr. Measurehead has done a good job. The lieutenant nods.
Measurehead has done a good
There we
job.
go.
Nothing is too broken or compromised. The victim is
Pick
ready
on
for
on.
a field autopsy.
A field autopsy.
Yes. 1. Investigation of the scene. 2. Initial examination of the victim. 3. Field autopsy. 4. Transportation of the body to the morgue. We are on number 3.
He covers his nose in lists. Come on, Kuno.
The fuck are they on about?
Cop's gonna cut his shit up!
Got it.
The lieutenant adjusts his glasses and takes a deep breath.
Tell me something, dead man.
Shoot, loony rooney.
Okay, enough.
Come back later, Coppo. Amuse yourself with my frank manners and my memento mori features. If possible. Also, see me in your dreams.
First, what exactly is a field autopsy?
Come on, officer. You know what a field autopsy is. You've done 100 of them.
Clap your left hands. Let's get in there.
There truly is a time for everything, even for yellow gardening gloves.
He nods
However,
approvingly.
they are lacking hygienically. I suggest you get in there in limited capacity.
Alright.
I'll ask you when I need you to. For the most part, maybe I should handle the contact and you take notes?
We just fill this in, right? Show him the red field autopsy form in your ledger.
That's right.
You knew it because you inspected your ledger. The lieutenant is relieved you know the protocol.
Open your ledger at the field autopsy form.
The dead man stares in silence as you crack open the ledger. The bright red paper is covered in boxes and lists, describing the condition of his skin and organs in 3 parts. Above those, an 11-field info form needs filling out first. It begins with...
Begin. 1. Assistant.
That's you.
Write the initials HDB.
The corpse is indifferent to your scribblings, just lies there. The next box says...
2. Coroner's case number.
KK57-0803.0815.
KK equals Kim Kitsuragi. 57 equals Precinct 57, followed by his date 0803 and time of arrival 0815 on the scene. He's indexed the case after himself, not you.
I mean, it makes sense. Write it down.
Next.
Name.
NA. Next.
Date of birth.
NA.
Age?
Roughly 50.
Right around 50.
The corpse looks ageless, like meat on a hook. Teeming with opportunistic microorganisms, letting out a foul-smelling diamine compound. Your eyes turn watery.
6 race?
Mondial.
Write it down.
The pudgy mess of curdled meat looks neither mondial nor anything other.
7 sex?
Fucky!
The little monster exclaims energetically.
Male.
Pigs can have sex?
Right, male.
Nor does he look male, with his pregnant belly and indistinguishable face.
Date of death.
We're still going with March 4th, 51.
Right, 40351.
What else? 9. Body identified by is non-applicable. 10. Case number is the same as the coroner's case.
Right.
KK 57 0503 0815 listens motionless, with the cargo belt still around his neck. Only one box remains.
Evidence of treatment.
None. At least not after the initial examination.
A strange word. Treatment.
What exactly is treatment, anyway?
Interfering with the body's position or wounds post-mortem.
Ah.
Don't overdo it. It's okay to be unsure.
I'm not so sure.
A silent nod. The lieutenant places his gloved hand on the corpse's chest, as if in preparation.
We should start the post-mortem.
Turn the page.
The corpse cannot feel Kim's hand on his chest. It no longer meaningfully interacts with its surroundings. A thicket of boxes and lists on red copier paper tries to answer why.
External examination summary.
Clothes. The deceased wears armored boots and white briefs. The make of the briefs is Babrodine, I think. Let's see.
He turns the body onto its side, check the underwear. Oh, sorry, he begins. He turns the body onto its side, check the underwear label.
See, it's happening.
Babrodine, yes. Inexpensive. Size M. Color white.
The disappointment is palpable. The red-haired thing was expecting something more lurid.
Jesus Christ, write it down.
The rest of the clothes have been removed post-mortem by scavengers in order to get to the victim's ceramic armor. Officers are in search of the missing pieces. Removal of the boots is left for processing.
It would be clever of you to omit the boots altogether, sire. If you are to keep them for yourself, as you ought to, you have deserved them more than anyone else.
I don't know if I need these boots. Maybe I shouldn't. Maybe I shouldn't take the boots. It feels like a bad idea. When am I gonna get them?
Patience. After the autopsy, before the body is taken away, there will be a window of opportunity. After the lieutenant has gone to sleep. I hope this has helped you, my liege.
What do I need them for? That yeah, just write it down.
The boot has a serial number. It's E50.100.100. The lines between the plates are in the shape of the alpha numerical. The number is purposefully concealed by the design.
Write it down.
Tattoos.
He stands up, feet planted on either side of the body.
The upper torso is covered in a single, continuous tattoo, resembling a national pattern. It reaches from the right shoulder to the heart. The ink is blue and white. The assistant has a color photograph of the markings, to be added to the case files as document A1. The photo is taken on the scene, using a Trigat Mini.
It's a good thing I didn't sell that photo. Write it down.
The deceased has a cargo lashing belt around his neck, tied with a hangman's knot. Color yellow. Length 3 meters. There is a buckle on the other end.
Write it down.
Well nourished, athletically built, measuring 1.8 meters. Generally consistent with age, about 50. Preservation is good. Ambient temperature below freezing.
He produces a measuring tape. Write it down.
Body hair is light brown. Distribution is consistent with age. The deceased had male pattern baldness. Hair is combed back, short.
Write it down. Short, light brown, male pattern baldness.
Lividity is consistent with hanging. The head is congested. Contusions are present on the head, chest and thighs, consistent with stones thrown post-mortem, low velocity.
Fucking low velocity? You think Kuno doesn't know what you're talking about? Velocity was fucking max.
Yeah, of course.
Talking shit about Kuno's velocity.
In addition, there are bite marks on the face, scalp, and chest, consistent with predation.
Write down.
Ligature mark.
The lieutenant produces a small folding knife. With the other hand pulling on the belt, he starts cutting into the polyester. The stench is horrid. After a while, it's obvious the material cannot be cut.
The steel wiring. There's too much of it. We need to remove the belt so we can get to the ligature mark.
He can see it's breathless.
You got just the right tool for that. The chain cutters.
Good thing we got these chain cutters. Pull out the rubber-gripped cutters.
Always good to think ahead. Now...
He points to the rip squeezing the dead man's neck.
We need to cut the belt to see the ligature mark below. Carefully, with as much precision as you can.
I don't know if I'm gonna do this.
See, my pig is gonna fuck his head off.
No, he ain't. Your pig's a boring fuck.
Uh-oh. Look for a good spot to cut.
The belt is equally tight around the whole circumference of his neck, swelling over the edges like white bread rising from the yeast.
58%. Yes,
After
okay.
some deliberation, you sink the cutters into the knot tying the belt together. You squeeze the rubber handles together, sweat forming on your brow.
Press down.
Snap. The knot is slashed. Another cut and the belt falls apart like a flower bouquet, revealing the dead man's neck.
We got it.
And the dark red ligature mark around it.
How am I doing on EXP? Because I got like 70 just for doing this. Oh yeah, we need 2 more XP, damn. We're close.
The rope rises to a point, leaving a gap in the ligature mark. The suspension point is in the back of the neck.
The lieutenant has kneeled closer, running his finger along the dark red groove until there's a gap.
As it ought to. This is where its grip on the curdled meat is gentlest.
Ugh.
Pulling up.
Hemorrhaging is observed on the skin, above and below the ligature mark. The mark is well pronounced, consistent with a drop from 1 or 1.5 meters.
Write it down.
Chest is intact. Normal contour. Abdomen is protuberant. Pelvis intact. Genitalia...
He pulls down the man's underpants.
No! It's gonna happen, see!
I fucking knew it!
This is clearly what they've been waiting for.
God.
Ever since the autopsy began. The lieutenant is trying to make it as boring as possible.
Genitalia is male and unremarkable. No evidence of injury.
I don't know if we'd actually be able to tell this, but yeah, does it look like he was enjoying his moment of death?
Ah yes, your hunch before. We can have a semen analysis requested from processing, if that's what you meant.
Yes, processing science, that's what I meant.
Mm-hmm. Just write down that we request an analysis.
The corpse with his pants down does not have an opinion on the subject. All he has is genitals and a deathly odor.
Inspect the genitals.
The dead man's penis is average-sized, congested from the downward collection of blood. The testicles are uneven in length, hanging underneath. The genitalia is greenish.
Oh boy.
Is present
around
the crotch.
Write it down. Add semen sample.
Back is symmetrical and intact. Upper and lower extremities are intact, but asymmetrical. There are combat injuries on the right hand, thigh, and hip.
To be a corpse with your pants down. The dream.
In addition, I see smaller, residual scars, too numerous to count, covering about 30% of his skin.
Damn.
Last item.
Write it down.
Hands.
Pick up the hand.
His flesh is cold, icy.
Pleased to meet you. Where are you from? And what's your name?
My name is...
I'm only fucking with you. I know where you're from. From Cappadocia. And your name is Il Kobo. What can I do for you, Il Kobo de Cappadocia?
Nothing, I got nothing.
Nothing is as nothing does. This was pleasurable. I sincerely thank you for touching my hand. We should do this more often. be close like this. I mean...
Hands are clean. No sign of injury from struggling.
The lieutenant concludes, dead man's fingers slip from your hand, cold and sausage-like. Were we expecting any?
I was. Maybe I'm just not seeing them. Honestly, this stench is making it hard for me to think at the moment.
Working so close to the fumes coming from the corpse must be hard. You realize suddenly that the lieutenant has been barely keeping it together these past 2 items.
Write it down.
Ooh. That's all for the external. Well done. What next?
I think we should pull back for a second here. Description of the injuries. 3 description of the injuries summary.
I'm afraid we can't continue before we've gone through both the external and internal examination first, thoroughly.
2. Internal examination summary.
Central nervous system. I have nothing. Do you have anything on this man's central nervous system?
He says and then concludes abruptly.
Of course, there is a moral to be drawn from it. A moral to this story.
If I may add the moral of this story.
What would that be?
He looks at you inquisitively.
The dead man looks, too, with barely contained excitement to hear the moral of his story.
The brain is very vulnerable to compromises in its blood supply.
I think that may well be the moral of every story, officer.
The lieutenant grins. Alright, Anna.
Good. Musculoskeletal. Purge fluid is coming from the mouth. Not injury related. Eyes and tongue protuberant. Hyoid bone. Let's see.
He gets close to the mouth hole, eyes squinting from the stench. Oh, God.
With his eyes almost closed, the lieutenant puts his hand on the dead man's throat and begins to massage it, gently. A rotting smell erupts from the mouth. Purge fluid runs down his lips, black and viscous.
Yeah, jack that fucker off!
The hyoid bone is fractured. The rest of the musculoskeletal system is intact.
He says after a while. Write it down.
Respiratory system.
Back hunched as if in prayer, he begins to pry open the dead man's jaws. He stops to exert more force. Both hands are used.
Oral cavity shows no lesions. The victim has received dental implants, possibly after a combat wound. Mouth swollen. Hemorrhaging present in mucosa of the lips and mouth.
From here, it looks as though the clown-faced man is screaming. The tendons of his jaw are torn apart. Hyoid ripped from the force of the lieutenant's hands.
Look inside the dead man's mouth.
No scream, no sigh of relief rises from the darkness inside. It's humid there. Sickly sweet air, unlike anything living. You feel like you're about to throw up again, straight in that mouth of his.
Possibly after death, what? Like, after you said what? Look deeper inside.
It's hard.
Oh, that's a bad idea.
Once more, you taste stomach acid in the back of your throat. A contraction. Your throat pumps a little something from your stomach and into your mouth. You're forced to swallow.
Oh, the dental implant? Yeah.
Inside, you see darkness. Just a mess of meat and darkness.
There are ancient mysteries down there, Kobo. Ask me later.
Okay.
Hemorrhaging present in mucus.
Lieutenant repeats immediately. He lets go of the jaws. The nest snaps shut before you. Write it down.
Hepatobiliary. NA.
Really bad. Why? Don't we have anything?
Are you a hepatobiliary expert?
He wipes his brow. He looks at the corpse's stomach with a mixture of tiredness and disgust. I don't think so.
Neither am I.
And that's it.
That's it.
Right, NA.
Same for toxicology and serology. NA.
Both?
Unless you have untapped reservoirs of knowledge there.
The completionist in me wonders if there's something we could still do.
We already have one test as per regulation, and we already requested semen.
That's true.
Pigs requested semen like it's no big deal.
I'm not even interested in these boring milk cuts anymore. I haven't sucked him off or anything.
Yeah, better leave it at that. More important.
Leave it NA, then.
Right, NA.
Cardiovascular. The body exhibits heavy lividity. Blood has gathered in the hands, feet, and neck. Hypostasis is visually consistent with the hanging.
Write it down.
Gastrointestinal.
He breathes a sigh of approaching relief. This is the last field on the list. He looks around to the ground. The pool of feces there.
This will do.
Digested semi-solid food in stomach. Voila.
Write it down. Keep the voila. I feel like this is actually good because my character trusts Kim that much.
What's next on the list?
3 description of injuries now that we've fully examined the body.
Let's see. We have bite marks, contusions on the head and chest, and a ligature mark encircling the neck. You'll need 3 fields. Leave a 4th one too.
What's the 4th injury field for?
Nothing. Just in case.
Bite marks.
Head, chest, and scalp bite mark injuries. Predation by birds has caused damage to the body. Odontologist does not need to be consulted.
Write it down.
And your opinion, officer?
The description there, 2 boxes waiting to be tucked. Non-fatal post-mortem.
Agreed. Next injury?
Contusions.
So, the scalp bleeds from a post-mortem head injury, a stone. The injury does not have the rim of an early inflammatory response. The perpetrator on the scene has confessed to causing it post-mortem.
At maximum velocity, fucko!
Has confessed to causing it at maximum velocity.
The lieutenant's admission has caused great gratitude in Kuna. He is silent with it.
Write it down.
Coagulated blood sticks to his scalp and chest, where the countless stones have hit the dead man. Beneath, the description of injury. 2 boxes.
Non-fatal. Post-mortem.
Right. Next.
Ligature mark.
A dark red abraded ligature mark encircling the neck, with a gap on the nape measuring, let's say, 7 centimeters. The hyoid bone is fractured, the cervical column intact. I see hemorrhaging on the skin, above and below the ligature mark. Depth of the mark, 1 centimeter. No signs of clawing on the neck.
Write it down.
Below the note, 2 customary boxes wait to be ticked. The man's head jerks to the side. The ring around his neck is visible.
It could be non-fatal post-mortem, but I'm pretty, I think doing opinion fatal injury is fair, because, the Hardy Boys confessed as much that they killed him. You know, keeping the space open. Leave that open for space if we need it, but opinion, fatal injury.
That's it. We have established cause of death. It's not much, and it leaves much to be questioned, but it's a start.
He cracks an uneasy smile.
Let's wrap this up. I pronounce this field autopsy over.
First, how did it go?
Well, we established probable cause of death. Some would say that's the goal of an autopsy.
Yeah.
We requested a test to be run on the genitals. That was the règle. The results should arrive in a couple of weeks if we are lucky. I will not hold my breath.
What else?
We were thorough with the list of injuries too. We described them all in detail. What is there to say? Given the circumstances, it was a professional field autopsy.
What now?
I need a copy of that autopsy form. Then I will drive him to Faubourg.
Rip out a copy of the autopsy pages.
For processing.
He looks at the dead man one more time, then at the slip of red paper in his hand, then at the corpse again.
He's thinking, did I miss something?
Yeah. Not gonna get this. I'll try it.
You run your hands over the victim's cold body, his limbs, his torso with its swollen organs. Maybe you should be more thorough.
Look under his fingernails like him already did.
His fingernails have turned dark. They're chipped and quite long. There is dirt under them. That's all.
Continue.
Do you think we missed something?
You can't shake the feeling that there are more secrets concealed in the flesh before you.
I got a gut feeling that there's more to this corpse.
Okay, well, we are in livor mortis here. He is disintegrating. We need to refrigerate the body if we want to conduct another examination, and we need to do it fast.
Okay, where do we find a fridge for the body?
Hey, wasn't there a giant ice bear sarcophagus below that building?
Why, yes, there was.
Now, detective, I've rarely been disappointed by the size of a giant ice bear fridge, but I think we should still take a look at it first. Make sure it's big enough before we carry him over.
Yeah, it's fair.
Let's move. With every hour, whatever we are looking for in the deceased will become harder to find.
We have 13 minutes until we have to go and meet the smoker on the balcony. So we should probably be ready for that. Although thankfully the game time doesn't move as long as you're doing stuff. So we have... I'd like to get another space for a thought. I'm not sure which thought I actually want to do. Guillaume Le Yamon Million seems interesting. This seems cool, but it'll reduce our encyclopedia. The Bow Collector and White Morning also seem very cool. I'm very curious about both. Actual art degree just seems cool. I want to become the art cop. Yeah, I'm between these three. They're all really good. I feel like they tell us a lot. Art cop? Yeah, I guess we'll do art cop for now. That seems to fit our vibe, I would say. Plus conceptualization is good to have, and I'm guessing that's the solution here. And then I think next we'll do Bow Collector or White Morning. Maybe Bow Collector, because it seems like the research bonuses are worse, which I'm guessing means the solution bonuses are better. At least I hope so. It could be worse. Okay. So we're gonna check out the basement here. I'm curious if our ice machine has you know, stopped being frozen. Ice cream maker, rather. Because apparently that is the code, and if we use that, we can get into the, I guess we could get into the old, like, you know, space TTRPG. Not space, but radio TTRPG. And get our thingy out, flashlight.
This orange machine is dead still. It has a...
Ah, I need my... Wait, is it melted? Let's see.
This orange machine is dead.
Slowly melting. Okay, we gotta give it more time. Let's turn the bear
Both
on.
cables are unplugged from somewhere in the dark. A giant...
Okay. Let's see.
The bear's eyes are still glowing red, watching over all the ice cream wrappers hidden inside its belly.
What do you think of this fridge, Kim? It looks big enough for 2 corpses.
It's certainly an eccentric choice, but it is capacious and cold enough, too.
But the optics on this are awful, he thinks. We need to be as silent as we can.
Yeah.
Shall we go and get the body, then? I'll take the head, you take the feet. The stairs won't be easy, but we'll manage.
The two of you, easily.
Alright, okay, let's do this. Clap your
body
hands.
Is heavier than you expected, and stinkier. It takes half an hour to get it down to the basement, then 10 more minutes to stuff it into the fridge. The lieutenant takes a step back to admire your handiwork.
Alright, we put the body in the fridge.
Beautiful. A dead body in a nice bare fridge.
Hey,
this
level
is
up.
some of the best police work I've ever done.
You've definitely earned a drink after this. Perhaps even some pagan rites.
Not sure what this even means. Really? You think it's good work?
No, not really. Look at that. What have we done? We stuffed a dead body in a nice bare fridge. This story does not leave this room.
Yeah, I'm not proud either, but we did find a fridge.
As impressive as the fridge is, this is a small victory, among numerous defeats.
He's right.
At least we've stopped the body from decomposing further. Now you can conduct another inspection, under controlled circumstances.
Inside the icy realm of the ice bear fridge, the corpse stands slumped, waiting.
Tell me something, dead man.
Shoot, loony rooney.
At the autopsy, you said you have ancient mysteries.
Oh yes, Kobo Milobo. In in the gift horse's mouth. Tracts and wakes and waterways. Ancient materials buried.
Yeah, but to where, brother?
Just a small gulp away. My beloved Kobo. A small gulp away.
How do you like it in the fridge?
I like it a lot, brother. This really is your finest hour. You're a genius. A regular Copperlangelo.
Enough.
Come back later, Coppo. Amuse yourself with my frank manners and my memento mori features. If possible, also, see me in your dreams.
Yeah, I gotta get more info here. And probably more perception. How's my ability to get more perception? I actually have quite a bit of space for if I want to grab it. But also want to get more thoughts too. Yeah, let's get more thoughts. Thoughts are cool. I want to get the bow collector. I'm very curious about it. 6 hours of lower authority and hand-eye coordination seems worth it for whatever this is. We'll internalize it. Yeah, it's a good fridge. Thank you for the 100 bits, El Half Narrow. 100 pride bits, even. Dude, they got gay bits? Alright, we gotta go now. we gotta go talk to our gay friend. Our Twinkie friend. I'm curious what he knows, considering everything that we've, you know, learned so far. Gay bits. Alright. We gotta go back up to the building up north. We still do not have enough money to to leave this place. Sadly. Or not leave, to, you know, sleep. Which is a problem. I wonder if our, you know, our gay fella here can throw us some change. That's right, we only take gay bits in this establishment. Yeah, I don't know, like, where I could get something that could, help here. I feel like I may have made long-term bad decisions. That's a bit concerning. I believe we want to go out here. This is the future liberals want. Yeah. Gay bits only. See that? I'm up there. You don't see me, but I'm up there. Okay, thank you for the 200 bits. Hell yeah. I appreciate it. Okay. There he is. I probably shouldn't shine a flashlight in his face, huh? Get my bottle equipped. Or bag equipped, rather.
Gendarmerie, you found me.
The young man on the balcony gives you a bright smile before taking another drag from his cigarette.
His slender figure is backlit by city lights, its distant streets and motorways flashing like diamonds. It feels like a Friday. He seems to be in a good mood tonight.
We got your hint. Found the key right under that stone.
Beautiful.
He replies, smiling. As he looks at you, something sparkles in his eyes.
So tell me, are you here to make things right again?
That's what I'm aiming for, yes.
Beautiful.
He says again. A nearby street lamp casts shadows on his chin, drawing out the slender cheekbones.
I have some good news for you. My Sunday friend is visiting me tonight. I told him about you and he'd like to say hello. Step in. He's already waiting.
By the way, I'm really digging the view here. Point to the city skyline.
Mm-hmm. That's why I chose this place. Martinez is special, isn't it?
He looks away, his cigarette end glowing in the dark.
Wait. Suddenly you are digging things?
The lieutenant whispers to you, shaking his head. Is it Friday tonight? Feels like Friday.
Yeah, it does feel like the end of the week. Such gentle weather.
Very well, I'll talk to him. But first I want to talk to you. I have so many questions.
That's nice, but I don't have anything to tell you. It's my friend you're looking for, not me.
He takes another drag of his unfiltered cigarette and looks around. It's getting dark, and the neighboring windows have lit up, one by one.
Besides, I've got to run.
He's going to leave you alone again. That's sad.
But I just found you again.
Just look at it. It's a beautiful night. Who's going to stay in on a night like this?
He gestures toward distant motorways, all leading to Golden La Delta.
A man on high heels stumbles out of a basement club, music blasting over the entire district. It's chilly, and as the chemicals hit his nervous system, 1,000 shivers ripple through his body.
Only if you promise that we'll talk again. It's important.
Something flutters in the corner of the lieutenant's mouth as you're saying those words.
We'll talk. Just not tonight.
The smoker assures you, brushing his hand through his hair.
Take care, alright?
I'm being gay tonight. I've chosen to be gay.
And he's gone again. Looks like it's becoming a theme for him.
There's something so different about him I just can't put my finger on.
Different, of course.
He's such a good listener. I like talking to him.
You like talking to him?
Lieutenant squints his eyes, trying to hold back laughter. Made me feel special.
It made you feel special.
Oh god, what was that audio?
Come on, detective, let's go. We've got a potential witness to interview. His Sunday friend, remember?
He nods at the apartment door before you. I'm playing gay Harry DeBlah. That's what's up. Yeah, I mean, cigarettes are... I have mixed feelings on cigarettes. Because, like, the thing about them is that, like, if... I don't know, I have some relatives who, well, a relative who overdoes it a bit. Oh. Party Dragon Silk Road, plus 1 drama, plus 1 electrochemistry. I'll be taking that. Samaran Conical Hat. Don't know how I feel about that one, but I'm down for the robe. I mean, I guess both of them are a bit appropriative, huh? Do you like the idea of Drummond? Let's see what this looks like. Oh my god. That's so much. Alright, and then I can wear this. What does this do? Logic, plus 1 logic, minus 1 suggestion. No. Not happening. Damn. Yeah, that is true. That is for sure true. Sorry, Quarterly Business Magazine, buckets of paint on a layer full of newspapers. Should probably talk to this guy. I just want to see what else is in this apartment. Just soaked up in a pot. Empty ashtray. Flyers for underground parties. This is the Sunday Friend.
Officers of the Revachol Citizens Militia.
The man, business casual, removes his cufflinks.
My name is Charles Vildrouin, and I am an official with the coalition government. I work for the Institute of Price Stabilité on assignment from Sur la Clé. I heard you talking to my friend outside. Very good. Super. I am here to assist you in any way possible. Ask me about the hanging.
No, first ask an innocuous personal question to get the interview off on the right foot.
Before we get to that, tell me where you got this beautiful silk robe from.
Oh, we got it from an atelier in the East Delta Commerce Center. Personally, I think it's a little culturally insensitive, but the material is great. Sadly, the shop is now out of business. That's really all I can tell you about it.
He forms a little rooftop with his fingers. Cold air sweeps in from the balcony.
The lieutenant takes out his notebook and nods to you to proceed.
You actually witnessed the lynching.
I'm sorry to say I did, officer.
Start from the beginning if you don't mind.
Officer, it's very difficult to describe what I saw that night. It was so surreal to me, like in a play.
He holds out his hands and blossoms his fingers, like a drama teacher setting the scene.
What do you mean, like in a play?
The lieutenant is already scribbling down notes.
It was just so strange. I could barely comprehend what was happening. I was on the balcony when it happened, getting some fresh air. I remember that first they came in, carrying what looked like a body. And then I saw all the surrounding windows go dead, one by one.
Oh.
That's when I understood. I should not be seeing this.
This implies that it wasn't a struggle already, that they just put him up there.
Sounds like the victim was unconscious.
Yeah.
Or at least incapacitated. Interesting.
Who were they? Can you describe them?
I couldn't see their faces well, and there were quite a few of them. But they were very loud and very Martinez.
Yeah, I'm guessing it's the Hardy Boys. He pauses, looking for the right word.
Let's just say that the laboring classes can get rather expressive with their profanities.
How many of them were there?
I couldn't tell you exactly. Less than 10. Maybe 8.
What happened next? Proceed.
I went back inside.
Were you able to see anything from inside?
Officer, the yard was pitch black. There was nothing to see, but I could still hear their voices.
Oh.
They were threatening to kill that poor man.
Were they men, women?
All men, I presume. But again, I couldn't see very clearly.
What ethnicity were they?
I believe they were mostly white, though I believe I saw 2 Areopagites among them. And I am quite certain that one spoke with a Mesk accent.
What happened next?
Well, that's the strangest part, officer. Nothing happened. It was oddly quiet for a public lynching.
What do you mean nothing happened? They lynched a guy.
Eventually, their shouts died down, and that was all. There were no gunshots, no celebratory shouts, no anything.
You're right, that does seem strange.
I'm afraid I don't have anything else to add.
I could ask why he didn't call. Like, we have the caller, it's fine.
About what time was all this happening, approximately?
All I can say is that it was late.
So let me get this straight. You didn't actually witness the hanging yourself, did you? Did you?
No, I didn't see the corpse until the following day.
Those are all my questions. Thank you for your time.
Of course. Anything I can do to assist the RCM.
What's an official like you do in a Martinaise?
The coalition is only looking out for the price stability. Inflation is a killer, like a heart disease blocking the normal circulation of the economy. It must be controlled.
He raises an index finger.
The economy impacts the entire international community, which is why it requires international oversight.
Okay, but what are you doing here in this apartment?
Well, I'm renovating it. It is an interesting project. The building used to be a 12-story skyscraper before the cannons took the top 4 stories off. This, of course, happened when the coalition forces landed here. You could say I'm undoing some of the material damage the international community caused when we arrived here.
You're some kind of bureaucrat.
Yes. As I said before, I am a commissioner from Sur-la-Clé working for the Institute of Price Stabilité. This is one of the main projects of the Moral Inter.
He glances up at his watch. What is this international community?
La Communauté Internationale is what Revacholians colloquially call the coalition. In other words, the nations that stopped the disaster of the revolution.
What do I call the coalition?
Your employer, technically speaking. The governing authority of Revachol. The RCM is but one part of this provisional administration.
What is a price stability?
It is the most important thing.
That doesn't tell me anything.
It's the central goal of any sound monetary policy. Maintaining the price stability is essential to maintaining high levels of economic activity, which is essential for maintaining high levels of employment, which is essential for maintaining the social stability.
Basically, it makes sure the price of bread doesn't change.
Right.
Précisément. Too much inflation, bread becomes too expensive. Too much deflation, it becomes too cheap for bakers to produce. That's why the Institute of Price Stabilité works to keep inflation just below 2%.
Below 2% of what?
But not too far below. No. Too below is also bad. Below, but close to 2%.
You're not answering my questions at all.
The coalition believes in the importance of informing the public about the benefits of the price stabilité. Transparency is one of our principles. Would you like an informational pamphlet?
Okay, sure. Give me a leaflet.
A sound monetary policy is essential for addressing uncertainty. Stability is the raison d'être of the moral intern. It's the reason why I identify as a moralist. But oh, I don't have my leaflets on me today. That's too bad. You can always call our information line. Making information available is part of the moral intern's commitment to transparency.
I've heard about this moral intern before, but I want to know more.
It's the International Organization for Moralists. Hence, Moralist International. The Institute of Price Stability is just one of its many mind babies, as is the coalition.
So what I'm hearing is we're moral intern butchers.
Doing one's job doesn't automatically make one anyone's bitch. Besides, there are more nefarious powers to work for than the moral intern.
Turn back to Sunday, friend. Are you a moralist?
But of course.
But why?
Because moralists believe in a normal, stable world governed by democratic values.
But what is a normal, stable world?
The Occident is part of the normal world. Oranje, sur la clé.
Martinez doesn't seem very normal or stable to me.
Martinez? No. Martinez is something else.
What about the rest of Revachol? Is it part of the normal world?
Revachol is generally difficult. It's led by an interim government, which means it hasn't yet achieved full democracy. But they are working towards it. You're all doing very well here, relatively speaking.
Democracy is a mean. I mean, these are his beliefs. I mean, he's right. Democracy is a meaningless sham as long as the working class center the boot heel of capital.
Of course, the detective's personal views do not represent the views of the RCM.
Ah, my friend. But the lesson of the revolution is that communism does not work.
It didn't work because the coalition crushed it violently.
Oh, yes. The big bad coalition crushed the revolution. Tell me, if the revolution was succeeding,
God.
Would it have been crushed so easily? Are we really so bad for wanting compromise, peace, and prosperity on reasonable, achievable terms? Ask yourself that. Now, enough of this delightful political interlude. Was there anything else you wanted to ask?
This doesn't mean anything. Tell me about Shirley-Clef.
What's there to say? Sur-la-Clé is a modern, urbanized country that measures very high on the Human Development and Freedom Index. Mostly, though, it's known as the executive heart of EPIS.
I don't like this dude.
Moreover, it is a great sponsor of less emerged countries. Revachol is only one of its many darlings whose progress it supports and cherishes.
What makes Revachol Shirley-Clé's darling?
Because a great percentage of Revachol's culture hails from Sur-la-Clé. Its language, its people, its cuisine even. Or at least in the downtown La Delta area.
Tell me about Oranje.
Oranje is an exemplary nation who, as a core member of EPIS, contributes 28% of our annual budget. Next to Sur-la-Clé, Oranje is probably the most prominent member of the international community.
Okay, but outside of EPIS, what is Oranje?
Oranje's economy is one of the most advanced in the world. It has successfully transitioned from heavy industry to advanced services and generally acts as an engine for sustainable change in the international community.
Can't you just talk like a normal person?
About what?
About Oranje. Just tell me what it's like there.
Oh, it's very urban and very well organized. Their streets are clean, their horse cars run on time, the people are polite and efficient. Like I said, they are an example for less emerged nations to follow.
God. Enough business. Let's talk about something
Whatever
else.
you wish, officer.
Can you tell me about your friend?
Ah, my friend. My friend is a good young man. His family immigrated here from Kedra, and life has not been easy for him. But he understands the importance of education. He has taken his future into his own hands, and that's all that matters.
What's Kedra?
Kedra is a candidate member of APIS. But, between you and me, their potential membership is a more contentious issue.
What do you mean?
That it's never going to happen. They entered negotiations in 21, and it's been pending ever since.
What's this EPIS thing you keep talking about?
EPIS is a very special program developed by the Moral Intern to support certain Occidental nations. It began as a unified system of weights and measures, which proved to be a wild success. Nothing but kilograms and centimeters as far as the eye can see.
God, yes. Sweet standardization. The backbone of rationality and commerce.
I guess.
It was such a wild success that we expanded it into an economic union for the processing of steel. Another success. And between you and me, the Moral Intern feels emboldened by this success. Emboldened to take EPIS to the next level.
Okay, but like, what does it stand for?
Why, it stands for progress and stability, like the Moral Intern as a whole.
No, but what do the letters stand for?
It's been such a wild, extraordinary success thus far. We are very excited to take it to the next level.
You don't even hear the words I'm saying, do
A
you?
supranational political alliance. The United States of Occident.
Is it gonna be like this place here?
You mean Revachol? No, it's going to have transparent democracy.
Is Revachol going to be part of EPIS?
It's one day going to be a candidate member of EPIS, sure.
Didn't you say that Canada members never become real members?
No. Candidate members do become members. Why do we even have the whole system in place if they don't? It just takes time. Time and evaluation. But we were talking about my friend here, not politics.
God, I hate this dude. How do you two even become friends?
How did any of us become friends? Bad things happening on the Insulindian Isola? Oil platforms ablaze in the night? Civil wars lasting for years? Finally, the international community is forced to step in.
What are you talking about? No one becomes friends that way.
Au contraire. It's how millions of people end up where they are. Meeting the people they meet. It's how I came here, and my friend too.
He didn't even tell me what it stood for. He still won't tell me who he is.
Sorry. Who?
The man throws a quick glance at his watch. Your friend, the smoker on the balcony, we were just talking about
But I
him.
told you, officer. He's a bright young man here to pursue his education. Education is the foundation of our future, especially the arts. It is a cornerstone of our civilization.
So all you can tell me about him is that he's here to study
He's
the arts.
deeply enmeshed in the study of the fine arts, yes.
Which arts?
He's a truly free spirit. He likes all the arts. Perhaps graphic design, printmaking, who knows? The world is open wide for a talent.
Oh, Shretch, good idea. Thank you, Lilski. Okay. Alright. What are you doing in the Spartan by yourself?
I'm just enjoying the view.
What view? It's dark outside.
Listen.
He says, raising his hand. What? I'm not hearing anything.
The Insulindian Bay.
What about it?
This place used to be a luxury accommodation before the revolution. Apartments, of course, were much bigger then. A few walls have been added here and there, leaving some of the tenants without a private bathroom or a kitchen. But the million real view stays. You can't take that away.
He knocks on the balcony door, his face mirrored in the darkened glass. I was asking about your friend.
My friend comes and goes. I'm sure you'll see him around. He's a busy bee.
I had something else in mind.
I'm all ears, officer.
Thanks, I've got all I need.
A moment, officer. Do you have everything you need from me? I'm afraid we won't have the chance to speak again once you leave.
Hold on, why can't we talk later?
It's against diplomatic best practices for an official in my position to be discussing murders with local militiamen. And I'm pressed for time. After you leave, I should be leaving as well.
Yeah, this dude's an econ. This dude's so neolib.
That's not the real reason he's so apprehensive. Men in his position shouldn't be seen loitering around in underprivileged young men's apartments in the middle of the night.
Yeah. Thanks for the heads up. My work here is done.
Of course. I'm glad I could help.
Well, we have no money, and we gotta go to bed. This is not good. This is, as they would say in wherever this dude's from, not an ideal situation. That's my impression of French. Actually, it would be more like ideal situation. Situation. That's more Spanish, isn't it? Oh, I guess that would be situation ideal, but that's like, I don't know any French. Anyways, guess we're sleeping in the dumpster if we can. I don't know. I don't know. It's a mess. Wonder if Kim can help us. Maybe it's getting late. We could really. It's like $20, right? How are we gonna get this tomorrow? Wait, okay. No. Rip. Do I have any level ups? No. Yeah, I need 3 more XP. I need to say one leftist thing. Well, the good news, that's the last time we'll see him for a bit. Not very fond of him. Like, how's the moral intern gonna argue that, like, they... a real, the currency situation, that's right. How's the moral intern gonna argue that they, like, saved
This must
Martinez?
be it. The basement door is weather-worn. The copper nails holding the upholstery in place have turned green from sea air, and there's a knocker shaped like a lion's head.
The kicking is going okay. We did our kick last episode. Now we're trying to get money so we don't die. Let's see.
The royal lion, Guillaume's kitten. This knocker will last a lifetime and then some.
Use Manana's key to unlock the door.
You try to be as silent as you can. It takes a bit of rattling of the handle to loosen the bolt. Finally, the door unlocks with a small clack. Thoughts race through your head. Well, buddy, you opened it. No need to go inside. It would be rude. Only curiosity could account for stepping over that threshold. Maybe there's treasure in there. A white alligator. A fountain of quicksilver. As you hold the open door, you can feel the air moving. A little draft. A whistle.
I gotta trust my gut and go in there, right?
Master investigator, you just can't keep yourself away from locked and hidden places, can you?
What do you mean?
Nothing. You're right. Get in there. Deep. Invade every personal space. Break every lock.
Hey, I'm not some sort of peeper.
Sure, friend. This is nothing sordid. Nothing inappropriate. You just have to do this. It's your duty.
Gotta engage in a bit of the Jamrock Shuffle. Yeah, this seems like a good thought to have. Eventually I'll grab it. You gotta do the Jamrock Shuffle. Listen. In fact, we're gonna Jamrock Shuffle right in here. Yeah, money is an issue right now. We need, I think, like 6 more real. I do not have a French-speaking bone in my body. There's no way. So yeah, we were asked by the union boss to check out to open this door and just leave it open. I'm curious what's inside. Whoever lives here admires fair-haired fantasy heroes with big muscles. You can almost feel the warmth of the red sun on this flag.
This is the flag of Revachol, the suzerainty.
What's with the sun?
This isn't just one sun, but there are little suns dancing around the big sun. This is the sevenfold sun miracle.
What's the sevenfold sun miracle?
It's an optical atmospheric anomaly the first settlers saw. Happens in cold weather. 6 small suns around the big one. This complex halo phenomena is how old Revachol got its flag. It is but one of the many strange optic atmospheric phenomenon of this wondrous archipelago. You're sure you once saw sundogs in your youth? and blue flares.
Lieutenant, the old flag of the suzerain.
Mm-hmm. The tenant is an old-fashioned guy.
He looks around the apartment. Don't bow to the flag.
The flag doesn't seem to mind. It's just a colourful fabric with a sun sewn onto it. Like all feudal flags, it looks like a children's drawing.
Yeah, fair. Oh, +1 logic. Intercilary dress shirt. Intercilary.
A row of mugs sits on the shelf. Each one depicts a human figure. A dark-skinned woman grinning amidst mysterious symbols. A broad-shouldered man shoveling potatoes, and others.
Tap on the mugs.
A little ring. Though cheerful, the images on the ceramic make you vaguely uncomfortable. There's something disdainful in the way the curves and lines of the bodies were drawn. The images betray a lack of interest in human beings. They are merely unflattering caricatures.
Shirt that makes you grow your brain cells. What do you mean uncomfortable?
The owner of these mugs doesn't like people of other ethnicities very much.
Typical asshole.
This person is unhappy. The lieutenant picks up one of the mugs, then puts it back down with a look of disdain.
I'm beginning to feel better about breaking into this man's apartment.
Should I? I don't think I should. This feels like a bad... I should... Why did I never pick this up? It was such a bad idea. You know what? I need to save my curiosity. What about the yellow man mug?
Yes, your broken mug friend would feel very much at home here. The same humor, the same mocking lines.
There's the missing tin soldier. Whoever lives here might have used the Whirling's container to dump his trash.
This is actually valuable information. Okay.
And now they've drawn the ire of the Union. The plot thickens, as they say.
Yeah. No, I thought that would just be like, why are you doing this? But no, this is an actually useful thing to do.
An interesting little clue. Let's see where this goes. Clues have a way of magically connecting to other clues down the road.
Really?
Perhaps you should break into apartments more often.
Do you really think it's the same person who put the dead man's clothes in the trash?
Who knows? I'm not expecting too much from this clothes in the trash lead either way. It might turn out to be some random local matter, but still, a nice coincidence.
Yeah, I've been regretting it every step.
You could ask Everard who this person is once you're done here.
Move on from the mugs. I'd like to boost perception because I wanna see if we can get that last bit of information on the body. That feels like it's the big one. Book titled "The Hidden World of Walking Sticks" lies open. Small suitcase full of clothes. Guests are staying over. Oh, I may actually have more... I might be able to see more things now that I've got perception. Yeah. Okay. I actually need to go eat dinner, so I might finish this up tomorrow. I think we're gonna wrap up and raid someone. But thank you all for watching. This was a fun one. We got some cool answers and stuff. Hang on, let me become big again. Yeah, dinner time. Oh wait, no, you can't see that. You're not allowed to see that. Okay. Food time. Let's see who's streaming. Let's raid someone really quick. I'm gonna send you all over to... I imagine that there are probably quite a few people streaming because it's Monday and people tend to come in pretty hot when the week's coming back in. Oh, I have a couple options here. No, okay. I'm gonna raid Gra. Gra's cool. / raid. Draw stream. Sorry, Gra streams. I'm tired. Oh, you know what? I didn't even realize the chat window's wrong. The coloration's wrong. I gotta fix that. I can fix that later. Yeah, thank you everyone for watching. This is really fun. Y'all rule. Goodbye everyone. Have a fun one. Have a good night. Bye.